Hello, welcome to TAF180 and Ask Dr. Frank. So we just started the new year 2020 and it sounds quite liquid and some refreshing, the wording 2020. So we are all looking forward to have a successful and a good 2020, and this is what I also hope and wish for you. But in the same way, we see that some political situations rising in the horizon, like Iran and the United States conflict, which brings a lot of people in fear and, of course, also danger, pain, and some problems in economical views and in other ways. But what I want to talk to you today is effect, what is a psychological effect, because when I talk with you about the conflict between Iran and the United States, you can see quite frankly and quite evident how much and how big is the influence from psychology. So you can fight wars with 100,000 people, like in the beginning years of the last century in Europe, when the people lying into the trenches and suffering a lot with 100,000s of people which are killed in trenches over years. Or you can finish more or less wars in a seconds when you following some special steps and when you use psychological tools and power. But this was only a side communication. What I want to talk with you today is an effect what comes to some politicians at the moment and also to some managers. And this effect is called Dunning-Krueger effect. So I don't know if you ever heard from the Dunning-Krueger effect. It is an effect what was founded out 1999 in the Cornell University. And it means that the most incompetent people sometimes have the most and the biggest self-esteem. What seems in the first minute or in the first hearing like a joke is in the second hearing and thinking about it a very seriously thing. Because when you bring it out and away from theory to the topic of practical living, then I think that also you know some people which are in positions where you, other people around you, and maybe also they self will ask them, how did I come here to this position? Because they are completely on the wrong position. Politicians, managers, leaders. And the problem is that this is an effect what you can see in scientific results as the Dunning-Krueger effect. And the most important thing in the Dunning-Krueger effect is to realize that sometimes the ability and the possibility to look to the self reflecting processes are getting more and more away in the same amount of the position where you are. So it means when you are in a lower position, you have to reflect yourself all the time. For example, when you are a student, you have to reflect all the time with exams and all the things like this. When you are a soldier, you have to reflect yourself all the time with exercises, trainings and competitions. But when you're becoming a top manager, like Goshen, for example, the top manager what was fleeing in a box and a private jet from Japan to Lebanon, for example, and earns hundreds of $millions, or other top managers or politicians like Donald Trump, Putin, Boris Yeltsin, you name it. Then on the top of the edge, you don't have any people which are calling you and telling you where you are, what are you doing, and where you are maybe on the edge. to some strange behavior to other people, but also to yourself. And this is a really, really problematic thing, because the result of this Dunning-Krueger effect means that sometimes resulting very, very, very bad damages for societies, companies, and even for the person by themselves when they, for example, think that they are strong like a horse and they are not looking for their bodies, or even also not for their health. So this is just an input today, and sorry that my English is so bad today, but it was very important for me to send you this thing out, because the Dunning-Krueger effect is maybe one thing what you should hold for the year 2020. And it would be very nice for me when you connected with Dr. Thomas Alexander Frank's TAF180, Dunning-Krueger effect, and then watch out some people around you, politicians, soccer trainers, name it. You can find people all over the world and in all positions. And sometimes they are very, very bad and have a bad ability to reflect their own strength. So with this post, I want to send you a very, very nice wish wherever you are. And I wish you a successful 2020. And with best wishes, your Dr. Thomas Alexander Frank from TAF180, Dr. Frank Consulting. Bye.